Hello there, I am Jen. I have got my little Hand Lettering 101 booklet here, and I just want to go through it with you a little bit to show you some different techniques for hand lettering. So I hope you become obsessed with hand lettering. I have been hand lettering. Well, I was a kid that always doodled. My grandma did calligraphy, and so she always taught me writing, and we always wrote, and she always made me beautiful cards. And so I have always done hand lettering, and it's just a really fun hobby. So let's go over the basics of it here. And I would just suggest that you get some paper, some just plain white paper, and a pencil to start. And I'm going to teach you the faux calligraphy technique first, and which is the first page of the book. And so you want to take a word that you like and kind of create full lettering with it. I always, when I'm going to hand letter something, begin by just kind of doodling and practicing with a word. I feel like otherwise you just kind of are like, what should I do? Whereas if you just have a word and you work with it all different ways, it's just an easy way to get going with it. So actually it is like this page of the booklet, it's hello and hi in all different fonts. So that's kind of what I do a lot of times when I'm beginning to do a project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with the word hello, and when you do faux calligraphy, what you want to do is you can just use your standard cursive. Whatever you do is fine, and but spread it out a little bit because you want to make room for those thick parts that you're going to create. So you want to do just your normal, but stretch it out, lengthen it. Okay, so I'm just going to draw hello, or write it, I guess. So, and then what I want to do is I'm going to go over this again, and just every time that I am doing a downstroke, I am going to add another line to it. Now you can do this to the left or to the right of your downstroke, but those parts you're going to make thicker. So I can even just do it like this. So I'm just gonna kind of trace above where I drew, and so right here at the top, at like the 12 o'clock position, I'm going to be going down on that H. So I'm gonna start at the 12 o'clock position, and I'm going to gradually get bigger. Now you could do really wide, you can do just a little bit wide, that's up to you. That it totally changes the word, how thick you make your downstrokes, okay? So you can see that is how we begin. So now I'm going up, and then on this H, again, I'm going down. So here you'll see I kind of taper this at the top and the bottom, okay? Where at the bottom of the H, I just had a horizontal line at that bottom. So it depends on the letter. What you're gonna do, you're either gonna taper it or you're gonna just make the horizontal line. So then again, I'm going up, I'm going horizontal on that E, but then here again, I am going down. So I'm gonna bring that just like so. And then I'm going up again, and then I'm going down with the L. Now this, I could have done the inside of that too, and again, that's just up to, you can do whatever you want, but I decided to go on the outside. On this one, you don't really have room on the inside, so you would definitely choose to go on the outside to make your downstroke bigger. And then up, and then this, I'm going down again, so I want to go, I think I'll go like this. Down. Maybe that was Yeah, that looks cute. Okay, so that is really it. Now, so there's a lot of different ways you can finish this off. You could fill this all in. You could erase those little lines that are in your thicker parts. If you erased those little lines that are in your thicker parts, that would be its own font. Okay, if you filled it all in, that would be its own font. If you made a pattern in it, maybe polka dots, maybe stripes, that would be its own font. So you can see how you can have a lot of fun with just this technique. All right, so play around with that for a while, have fun with that. You can also do this with just your basic letters. It doesn't have to be cursive. You can just, your capitals, your lowercase letters, you can also do that trick with the downstroke, making your downstroke always thicker, okay? How fun. How fun. So then you can use, in your kit, you've got the markers. So you can use your markers and you can go over it too to see how it would look like that. So you can just create the thin little line and then you can fill this all in like so. And it's really fun just what you can do with a Crayola marker. You can do some really beautiful things with just a Crayola marker. So that's really fun. On the back of your booklet, I have my favorite different writing utensils. That's kind of fun to play around with too. If you really get into this and want some fun, nice writing utensils, there are some really fun ones out there. And so I've kind of given you some good things to check out if you want to play around with different things. So there's how your word looks with that simple technique. And then like this would be really easy to make those downstrokes way thicker too, and you'll see how that will totally change your word. So then at that point I can kind of fill this part in and fill this part in. And depending, you have to do a bit of a bigger word when you're doing this thick marker, but your other marker, your thinner one, you could do a smaller word. And then your fine liners, your different kinds of pens, just a ballpoint pen or a pencil, you can do the tiny words. So fun to play around with that. So that is that technique. Fun. All right, so the next thing I'll just kind of go over, well, I've showed you this already. So this is fun to play around with, all these different ways of writing the word hi and hello. You can do that. These can inspire you to come up with your own ideas. If you have Pinterest, if you use Pinterest, that is a fun spot just to find a billion different fonts, different styles of letters to try. So many cute things there. So that page is fun to kind of doodle around with. And then this page just talks about how it's fun to incorporate different fonts to create interest. So if you are making a sign, perhaps, and it would be fun to create different fonts for that. So you might want to use the faux calligraphy for one word, and then you might want to use this block, the shadowed block, for another word. And you might want to make a really slender word, and then you might want to make a really heavy word. That creates interest. It makes it look really cute when you use different things together. So you can play around with that. And then, I always like to create a banner when I'm working on a custom piece. So a banner is just a fun way to create interest too, and just very simple to create a banner. So let's make one. Even though it goes over it in here, maybe it's nicer for you to see really how to do it. So very simple. You start with 2 parallel horizontal lines. So 1 and 2. Now you could do this around a word, which makes the word fit perfect. So do your word first and then do your banner around it, okay? And then, oh yeah, okay, when you do, I have not done this for a while, then you're gonna do make this a box. So do your vertical lines, all right? And then outside of that, in the middle of your vertical line on each side, you are going to make a little line out like that. And then on the bottom, you're gonna go in a little bit and then you're going to, I think that's right, yep. And then you're gonna go out and out. So you want this thickness, since this is the same banner, this is like a ribbon, right? Let's say. So you want this to be about as the same size as this, right? That's what we're going for there. And then I like to make these little ribbon ends on this. Oh, my dog is barking. Sorry about that. Something. I think a motorcycle drove by. And then Indy, no girl. Let's see if it works. She's not really a bad barker, but every now and again. See, so this is coming together. Okay. And then, yep, I just go straight up with these. And then this, I'm gonna fill in. This is so nice you have this because it is a little, is it like that? Yep. I'm gonna fill in that little triangle like that. It shadows it, makes it look good. There. So now you have yourself a banner. Isn't that so cute? Very fun. Now, I also have on here the wavy banner, the banner that's in the wind, and that's fun too. Okay, and that I'm gonna just have you guys work on. It's maybe better just to see the pictures. This first one with the wavy lines, and then the second one, and then you fill it in and shadow it like the third. So that's also something fun that you can work on with your hand lettering. All right. And then, oh, I've already told you about this fun little page, but if you want to know more about some fun writing utensils, these are all things that my daughter and I have researched. We've had to buy all the good stuff and decide which is the best stuff. And then we've compiled our list. So yeah, so you can check out some of these too. So you guys in your kits, you have a little canvas. And so what I would do is think of a fun quote that you want for your room or to give as a gift to maybe your parents or something. And then I would take a piece of paper, and this is what I like to do before I make my final project. I like to make a practice project. So what I would do is I would just trace your canvas that you have in your kit, and then I would do exactly what you wanted to do. So maybe you wanted to create a banner up here, and maybe you want, so like, let's say you wanted to do see the good. Okay, so what I would do is I would block this out. So here is my canvas, what I wanted, the size of my canvas, And with a pencil, I would lightly block this, is what it's called. And so what you do is just you make light blocks where you want your words, and then you're going to erase those blocks after you're done. So it just makes sure that you're in the right area and you don't get done with your project and you're like, oh, you know, it's not centered or whatever. So you can do this. Now, I would do this for your practice. I would not do these blocks on, use pencil on your canvas unless you're covering it up. So don't block it on your canvas because pencil is hard to get off. Okay, and so then I would make my word. Maybe you want to use a banner for one of your words. So then I would do see the good, like so. And then once you get done with your practice on the right size and everything, then you can feel comfortable that you can do, make it look good on your canvas. So when you're working on your canvas, you guys, canvas and markers aren't always the best fit, but what I've done to help you out with that is canvases usually have a coating that's on them, and I scrub that off for you. So I'm hoping that your markers work well for you. I would go over your markers, like go over it a couple of times so it adheres on there with the nice rich color that it is, and let it dry good. And if you want a darker color and it's not giving you that, if you have permanent markers at home, permanent markers are nice to work with on canvas, but I don't use permanent markers in my kits because they're permanent. But if you have them at home, that would be great. You could also use your canvas with paints too if you want. Oh, there's Indy again. Have a great time with this. Have a great summer. Keep creating. Always keep creating. Thanks so much. Bye.